has the highlights this day. Ayodeji, how are you doing today?
Good morning, Patience and Thelma. This is the morning news. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has briefed President Bola Tinubu on the outcome of his mission to Guinea-Bissau. The former president was at the State House, Abuja, earlier on Saturday. Former President Jonathan, who led the AU ECOWAS election observation mission to Guinea-Bissau, was held up in the country after the military announced takeover of government control in the process of the presidential election. He returned to Abuja on Thursday. Speaking to our status correspondent Musbao Damwahab after the briefing behind closed doors, former President Jonathan advises the ECOWAS authority of heads of state and government to deploy diplomatic means in engaging the military who have seized control of government in the former Portuguese colony.
The key thing is that the winner of that election must be announced. Well, they cannot kick out the military with force, otherwise people will die. But let us know the winner of the election. So what I'm asking the ECOWAS leaders to do is to reach out to the military leadership in Guinea-Bissau. Talk to them. They are human beings. They know the right thing to be done. First, for them to release the opposition man, because the man has not committed any offense. He didn't announce himself as a winner of election. If he has done that, they will say it was a treasonable offense. So there was no reason to arrest him. So they should release that man. Then they should announce the result. And if the military will agree, the person who won the election should be inaugurated as the president of the country. We are tired of this in Africa. We are tired. Every day is negative story, negative story. What happened in Guinea-Bissau? It is not what some people will say palace coup. It was not a palace coup. We know coups. Real coups, palace coups we know in Nigeria. This was not even a palace coup. I was looking for the appropriate word to describe. I couldn't get it. I described it as a ceremonial coup. It was a ceremony conducted by the head of state himself.
Former President Goodluck Jonathan briefing State House correspondent Musbao Damwahab after his closed-door meeting with President Bola Tinubu. Let's move on and tell you that Nigeria set to get new ambassadorial postings after President Tinubu forwarded nominations to the National Assembly for approval. Let's take a look at this report. Bola Tinubu has sent the names of 32 ambassadorial nominees to the Senate for confirmation, days after he sent the first batch of 3 names. In 2 separate letters to President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, President Tinubu asked the Senate to consider and confirm expeditiously 15 nominees as career ambassadors and 17 nominees as non-career ambassadors. A statement by Special Advisor Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, listed the non-career ambassador designates to include Barrister Ogbonaya Kalu from Abia, a former presidential aide Reno Omokri, Delta, former chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Mahmoud Yakubu, former Ekiti First Lady, Erelu Angela Adebayo, and former Enugu State Governor, Ifeanyi Ugwani. Also on the list are former First Lady of Oyo, Fatima Florence Ajimobi, former Lagos Commissioner Lola Akonde, former Adamawa Senator Grace Bent, former Governor of Abia State, Victor Okeze Ikpazu, Senator Jimo Ibrahim, businessman, lawyer, and senator from Ondo State, and the former ambassador of Nigeria to the Holy See, Ambassador Paul Oga Adiku from Benue State. Last week, President Tinubu sent 3 ambassadorial nominees for screening and confirmation, and the president says more nominees for ambassadorial positions will be announced soon. Elsewhere, improved investments in Nigeria's education sector by the administration of President Tinubu reflects the renewed vigor to properly situate the nation in the global knowledge economy. Vice President Kashim Shettima stated this in Maiduguri at the ceremony to mark the 50th anniversary of University of Maiduguri Unimaid, Borno State. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jabrila reports.
Activities marking the 50th anniversary of the University of Maiduguri and Vice President Kashim Shettima warned that Nigeria cannot compete globally if its universities remain unfunded, stressing that sustained investment in education is now a core pillar of national development and security under President Tinubu's administration, reaffirming the federal government's commitment to transforming Nigeria's education sector through increased funding and comprehensive reforms.
As we gather to celebrate half a century of this distinguished institution, we are affirming the immortality of an idea. The idea that human beings, regardless of birth or class, can rise to their fullest potential through the power of learning. We gather to honor an institution that took root in the Sahelian sands and blossomed into a home for all, nurturing generations who now serve as contributors to the engines of our nation's development and as torchbearers beyond our borders.
Vice President Shettima disclosed that in the 2025 budget, education received a total of 3.5 trillion naira, amounting to 7.3% of the national budget, an increase from the previous year, acknowledging the challenges that have persisted, noting that for decades, underfunding has weakened the foundations of Nigeria's education system.
The agricultural and industrial sectors as part of the 25-year development framework and 20 years transformation plan of the Borno State government, designed to catapult the Chad Basin region into the first insurgency period. The university's contributions to innovative research worldwide are amply demonstrated in the exhibition mounted for this occasion. It is not only showcases the intellectual output of the institution, but it also demonstrates the fact that they can be reliable partners for governments and the private sector.
And as is the trend for this century, we are also advancing digitally, connecting the campus with fiber optics, introducing online learning systems, and automating key processes. Technology at Unimaid is no longer a dream. It is becoming our daily reality.
During the lecture series, Muhammad Indimi announced the donation of 2 billion naira to the university. Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri of Adamawa State announced a donation of 1.8 billion naira on behalf of the 6 states in the Northeast region, among other stakeholders, to support the development of the institution. The university also conferred honorary doctorate degrees on Governor Babagana Umara Zulum of Borno State, Emir of Kazauri Najib Hussein Adamu, and Chief Emeka Ofo, who also donated 250 million naira to the institution. From Maiduguri, Rahman Jibrila, NTA News.
In a bold reaffirmation of its role at the heart of Nigeria's digital progress, the Association of Telecommunications Companies of Nigeria, ATCON, is sharpening its focus on policy, regulation and industry-wide collaboration. Now, the group is leveraging its recent gains to elevate national productivity at a time when broadband stands as the lifeblood of Nigeria's digital economy. At this Minister, Regulator and Telecom Executive Forum, President, Association of Telecommunications Companies of Nigeria, ATCON, Tony Emwepere, commits to the shared vision of Nigeria's digital economy, driven by investment in an environment where competitiveness inspires innovation and excellent services.
For Nigeria to build $1 trillion digital economy, we must accelerate open access fiber networks, neutral host infrastructure, rural wholesale broadband, public-private co-investment, and harmonize federal and state regulatory issues.
What I need us to be thinking together is how do we innovate around these issues such that there's benefit to us without chasing opportunities away. NICOMSAT is not looking to bring in 2 new satellites. That will have significant implications for what you're doing.
Strengthening Nigeria's digital public infrastructure, protecting critical national infrastructure, broadband connectivity for underserved areas dominated discussions with the Nigerian Communications Commission and Nigeria Data Protection Commission.
Broadband that touches and reaches households, farms, classrooms, startups, public institutions, and every community.
The hard day of intellectual discourse and projections for ease of right-of-way. Expansion of inland and submarine fiber ended with a night of glitz and glamour.
We also tried to incentivize other telecom operators by giving a free right-of-way for those who were building fiber optic backbone through the states.
From elected and appointed government officials, ATCON recognized outstanding members in different categories with a renewed charge for better cooperation and performance. All right, and that is the morning news. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. Weekend deal will continue with Patience and Thelma, but that will be after this moment. Do enjoy the rest of the program. Good morning.
The Renewed Hope Initiative RHI presents the RHI Green Nigeria Challenge. Go green today for a greener tomorrow. This national competition is in 3 categories. The household category is a tree planting competition amongst 11 frontline states in northern Nigeria. Each participating household in Adamawa, Borno, Bauchi, Gombe, Jigawa, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Sokoto, Yobe, and Zamfara states will plant a minimum of 1 tree to qualify, with a video evidence of before and after the tree planting exercise. 20 million naira will be awarded to the best household. Submission deadline